Hello again, it's April here, and I have a slightly ambitious, maybe not very possible challenge I've given myself. Oh, book's upside down. To fill up this sketchbook, watercolour sketchbook, over the weekend. So it's Saturday lunchtime now, and I do have a lot of things to do this weekend, so we'll see. We'll just take it one page at a time. And currently I have 15 spreads and one little page at the back there. So if we say each spread is going to take maximum an hour, that's 15 hours of painting. If we can get that down to half an hour a spread, that's 7 hours of painting. I've got a few little ideas here that I was thinking of trying. So just maybe some exercises, some swatches, some colour tests, and then some really easy things that I can just paint, like watermelon or limes or the moon or planets, things that I haven't really done before but that look super fun. And to be honest, I have had this sketchbook since the 4th of June 2017, and I just want it finished. I don't really like this format, if I'm honest. This long format, it doesn't really make me want to paint in it. It just kind of is annoying. So I'm thinking, get it done, bring in the new year, fresh sketchbooks. Let's see if we can do it. Hello, it's voiceover April. I'm just sorting out my paints. I'm using all of my little tubes. I've got a Windsor & Newton and Daniel Smith mix going on. Does anyone ever have this problem where you open the watercolour and it just squirts out like that and you have to take all the paint out? It happens. I'll see if it can happen. It will happen again. It happens with these Daniel Smith ones. I don't know if it's because I leave them in the wrong conditions, like if I leave them in the heat seat. It's just, look, it's just exploding out. And I feel like it just wastes so much, and then there's heaps in the cap, and you can't put it back because it just comes out. But yeah, let me know if you have this problem with the watercolor. See, that one's fine. If you have the problem with the watercolor kind of exploding out, and if you know how to fix it, maybe I'd need to leave it in like a dark place or leave it upright or something. I'm not sure. And I'm using this just regular kitchen plate here to do my watercolors, but I think in the future, if I'm gonna get back into watercolor, I definitely want to get like a proper palette, because keeping the different colors separate is really hard, and at the end it all kind of just like goes into this big muddy mess, and it's a bit annoying because I waste a lot of watercolor paint. So I might have to invest in a good palette in the future, but for now I'm just using the plate just to show you can just use things around the house. This actually took me forever because I kept putting the washi tape in the wrong place, so you may see me taking it off and on like multiple times. I'm going to try this little pattern-y thing where you tape down a whole bunch of washi tape and then you do squares, and I've seen them do it on Instagram. It looks so much fun, but I'm worried that this tape isn't sticky enough and all the watercolour is going to go underneath it, but we'll see. It's massaging it there. Let's just have a go. I think I'm just going to use all my colours. I'm not going to go for any particular colour combo. Just all of the colours, and maybe try not to make it too wet. I'm going to try and work quite fast because I'm hungry and it's almost time for lunch. And I will leave below the names of the people I've been following online. They're mostly gouache artists, but they do really cool things like this. I think it's by a lady called Melissa. She does the Square-a-thon on Instagram. If you guys know what that is, it's when they do, I think it's a challenge they do twice a year, and you just basically make little square drawings. I really want to do it next time it's on, but I'll leave everything below if you're interested in this kind of stuff, because I love watching it, especially when it's all sped up. Like now. Okay, I think that's all of my in-camera voice, so we shouldn't be interrupted by past April again. I'm not really sure what I'm going to talk about because it's all pretty self-explanatory what you're seeing here, but I guess I'll just talk a little bit about why I decided to do this. And the reason was, I think I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, that I really wanted to finish my sketchbooks so I could go into 2020 with like a blank slate. But one of the other reasons, and I won't go into it too much because I'm going to talk about it in my goals video, is that I'm actually not going to be using watercolor next year. Might pick it up once or twice, but I'm not going to be like dedicating any serious time to watercolor. So I just kind of wanted to get this sketchbook out of the way just so I don't have to like think about it, because I don't know about you, but when I know there's like half a sketchbook left to finish, doesn't stress me out or anything, but it's a bit annoying. I'm just thinking, well, you got those 20 pages to fill, April, what you doing, you know, get on it. So I just used this time to just have fun and play around in my sketchbook and just use up all the pages. So I did a lot of things that I haven't done in the past that I normally probably wouldn't do, like this moon phase here, which I have done in a altered book before, which was super fun, but I've never done it in a sketchbook before. And to be honest, I really love the moon and painting the moon, but the gold paint, I think, for me personally, I really like it when it's just like a highlight. So when you had the sliver of the moon, I think it looks really nice. But then when you went to like the giant moon at the end and it was just a gold ball, I think it's a little bit too much for me. So if I use gold paint in the future, I think I'm just gonna have to like keep it as a highlight. And then this page was one of my favorite ones to do. It's not very original. You see a lot of people doing watermelons with watercolors, but I've always wanted to try it, and I love watermelon, and it's winter here in the UK, so it's not going to be watermelon season for another 6 months or so, but just, you know, I just was pining for watermelon and for hot summer days. But these are super fun to do, and I think they turned out really nice. There was a few that I kind of rushed, so the red kind of mixed in a lot with the green, but that's watercolor for you. You can't control it, can you? It's like a sulky teenager. And then after the watermelons, I thought I would just do a few more pages of fruit, and I was going to do oranges and then limes and then lemons, but I thought it would be a little bit repetitive, and I was kind of getting like over this whole technique idea once I played with it. So I just went with oranges, and some of the oranges are very yellow. And these little wedges here on the right hand side, I'm not quite sure what type of shape orange that's meant to be. I think adding the pencil really helped, and it was just a nice little exercise. And then I decided to move on to gradients. I think this is the next day. So the first day was Saturday, and I only filled out about 5 pages, and then the next day, Sunday, I did the rest, which was about 10 spreads. So I kind of like just worked through it in the evening, and it took me about maybe 4 hours to finish. So pretty fast actually when you think about it. I'm a bit annoyed that that paper teared, to be honest. And I thought I would try the old cliche silhouette on a sunset, because why not? I really love these little bird ones. I think they're the nicest. The ones with the really heavy skylines are a little bit like too much, I think. And then this one here I thought was pretty cool because it's kind of not the typical silhouette you'd see. It's like a barbed wire fence and some little palm trees and some batties. And then I popped some stars in the sky and called that one a day. That one was really nice to do, and I think that was the Gansai Tambi watercolors, which, yeah, it was, which I love. I forgot about these Gansai Tambi watercolors, so I actually pulled them out on Sunday and used them instead, because at that point my plate, which I mentioned before, was a mess, just like this page. So I pulled out the Gansai Tambi, and they are lovely to work with if you guys haven't used them. They're quite cheap actually. You can get them online. You can get sets of 12 as well if you don't want to get the whole set to try. I would definitely recommend these guys. And to finish, I thought I'd do a little flip through. So this is the entire sketchbook from the start. I started it in 2017. So this is when I was doing my sketch my commutes back in 2017 when I biked to work. And every day I would take a photo along my route, and then I would come home in the evening and paint it in my sketchbook with watercolor. So these are like my very, very first watercolor attempts that you're seeing right now. I did a lot of experimentation with like watercolor inks, different watercolor palettes. This was actually the last one I did, and then I stopped doing it. Oh no, there's more. This was the last one I did. And then I stopped for about a year and I picked it back up and I did like experimentations. So kind of learning how to do colour mixing, different swatches. I did show some of this stuff in one of my other videos, which is where I talk about different watercolour warm-ups that I like. So I'll pop that above. And then I basically just kind of jump into it for a few weeks, get bored and don't touch it again. So that's why I just wanted to get it finished, because I knew that I probably wouldn't pick it up again if I didn't get it finished this year. And I actually really love having a dedicated sketchbook for exercises like this. If I was going to keep doing watercolour next year, I probably would have kept this for doing exercises like these swatches and learning how to mix colours and stuff. But I am moving on from watercolour. And that's my attempt at abstract art. That was the last time I painted in it, which brings us to this weekend. So I did some simple swatches that you saw to begin with, then these really awesome squares that I loved doing, some bigger squares, which I think actually turned out even better. My little face of the moon there, as you can see the gold is like in your face, some watermelons, and my lemon oranges, gradients. You've seen these. Move on, April. Okay, this is my favorite page. I did this thing again, but with the stripes instead of the squares. And then I tried it again, but by this point the washi tape was like running out of stick. So it's just very messy, that page. And then this is when I moved on to the Gansai Tambi watercolours. So I did some little swatches. My jellyfish there that you saw, I think that actually turned out really fun. I didn't show these birds because I didn't like how they turned out. They're a bit messy and all over the place. This was another really cute little swatch page, just with some faces on them. This is when I tried to do leaves, but I'll just leave that to someone else because I'm not very good at it. Another crazy pattern page to finish it off. And goodbye watercolour. So that was my 2-day fill up a sketchbook painting frenzy video. I hope it gave you guys some ideas for your watercolour sketchbooks and that you enjoyed watching me paint like a madwoman. And I will check you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.